The universe does not bow to the voice of fear. It bends to the voice of command. From the beginning of time, the infinite has answered not to begging, but to bold decree. The stars were not requested into being, they were spoken into light. The seas were not asked to part, they were commanded to obey. Every act of divine creation began not with hope, but with authority. And so it is with you. The universe will not move until you speak as the Creator speaks. Say aloud, I command the universe to fulfill the divine pattern of wealth, success, and joy through me now. Pleading is the language of separation. Command is the language of oneness. When you plead, you affirm that the power lies outside you. When you command, you awaken the truth that power has been within you from the foundation of the world. The divine law hears only vibration, not emotion. To plead in fear is to vibrate as lack. To decree uncertainty is to vibrate as abundance. The universe does not interpret tears. It responds to tone. Speak not with the voice of the victim, but with the tone of the victor. Declare, I am not asking for supply. I am activating the floodgates of divine provision now. You have spent too long asking the invisible to take pity. Yet the invisible is impartial. It waits for alignment, not sorrow. The law does not favor the weak nor punish the strong. It mirrors belief. Whatever tone you release becomes your world. If you whisper lack, you harvest emptiness. If you roar abundance, the heavens echo your decree. The universe is a mirror, not a master. It reflects your command with precision and power. Say it again. My word is law in my world. My decree shapes substance. My voice moves matter. The one who pleads waits endlessly for signs, but the one who commands creates them. Command is faith clothed in authority. It is the unwavering knowing that the unseen bends to your vibration. The universe is like an obedient servant, waiting for instruction. If you fail to give it orders, it stands idle. But when you speak in divine confidence, it rushes forth to fulfill every word. Speak this truth. Now, by the divine law of command, I release wealth, opportunities, and favor to flow into every area of my life. Your word is a wand. Your decree is a key that opens invisible gates. But if you waver, the door remains closed. You cannot plead your way into power. You must stand in it. You must speak from the throne within, not the floor of fear. When you issue a decree, you release divine electricity through your consciousness, a current that rearranges events, people, and timing to serve your intention. Every thought of certainty sends ripples through the ethers. Every word of authority sets universal forces in motion. This is the great mystery. The universe does not respond to need, it responds to knowing. Say aloud, I no longer plead, I proclaim. I no longer hope, I establish. I no longer wait, I command. These are not mere affirmations, they are activations. Each word is a hammer breaking the walls of limitation. Each declaration is a trumpet that calls your good out of hiding. Stop begging for what has already been decreed. The riches of the universe are not withheld, they are simply unclaimed. You must claim them with the scepter of your voice. You must stand and say, let there be wealth in my hands. Let there be success in my path. Let there be favor in every direction. And by divine law it shall be so. The beggar vibrates beneath his inheritance, but the commander walks in it. The beggar waits for the wind to change, but the commander commands the storm to still. You are the commander. You are the law in motion. The universe is your obedient field, and your word is the seed. Do not ask the soil to grow, plant your decree and expect the harvest. For the law has no choice but to obey its creator. And you, awakened one, are that creator. So rise in your authority and speak again. I command the universe to respond now. Every vibration aligns. Every door opens. Every channel flows. Every good thing that belongs to me manifests with ease and divine speed. Speak it until your bones remember it. Speak it until heaven and earth move to obey it. For you are no longer the one who pleads. You are the one who commands. And the universe must answer your word. Until you know who you are, you cannot know what power you possess. Authority is born of identity, and identity is born of divine remembrance. You are not a wanderer in a chaotic world. You are the Word made flesh, the living expression of the infinite mind. Every law of the universe bows before the one who knows he is one with Source. Say aloud, I am not separate from God. I am the manifestation of God's thought. I am divine intelligence in form, and I command my world to align with divine order now. The moment you remember your true nature, creation obeys. The sun does not beg to shine, the river does not struggle to flow, both act from identity. Likewise, the child of the infinite must act from divine certainty. You are not a servant pleading for favor, you are the heir of eternal power, commanding manifestation by right of inheritance. Identity is not belief, it is awareness. It is the unshakable knowing that what the Source is, you are. What the Source has, you possess. What the Source commands, you can decree. Say it with authority. I and the Source are one. I think the thoughts of abundance. I speak the words of power. I live in the vibration of eternal supply. The moment you speak as the Source, the universe rearranges itself to match your vibration. You do not wait for permission to prosper. You are prosperity embodied. You do not chase opportunities. Opportunities gravitate toward your field of power. When the divine recognizes itself in you, the entire cosmos becomes your servant. Your lack of identity has been your only limitation. The world has taught you to call yourself small, unworthy, separate, but heaven calls you divine, limitless, complete. When you accept a false identity, you live in false authority. But when you rise and declare, I am the expression of infinite intelligence, the chains of limitation dissolve, and your word becomes law. The Source lives through you, breathes through you, acts through you. The I am within you is not a fragment. It is the totality of divine essence condensed into your consciousness. You must no longer pray as though God were distant. The Source you seek is not above the stars. It is the breath in your lungs, the pulse in your being, the electricity behind your thoughts. You do not reach up. You awaken within. Say aloud, the same power that created the heavens and the earth flows through me now. I am the vessel of divine wealth, divine wisdom, and divine will. When you know this truth, the invisible bends to your recognition. Matter obeys mind. Circumstance obeys consciousness. Reality obeys recognition. To know your identity is to reclaim dominion. You are not the created, you are the creator in expression. You are not waiting for miracles, you are the miracle in motion. The kingdom is not coming, it has already arrived, clothed in your awareness. The wealth you seek is not outside, it is a reflection of your remembered self. The more deeply you realize your unity with the Source, the faster the outer world aligns. Say this decree, I command the vibration of divine wealth to flow through me. I command the frequency of favor to surround me. I command the light of my true identity to banish all illusion of lack and fear. Every time you speak from this recognition, heaven vibrates. Every time you act from divine awareness, doors open before you. You are not a personality trying to reach God. You are God reaching through personality. Let the false self fall away like ash. Let the old voice of limitation dissolve into silence. Rise now as the I am, the unbroken, eternal, limitless Source individualized as you. When you walk in this, knowing, no door remains closed, no channel remains blocked, no dream remains distant. For the law must answer, the one whole creation begins in vibration. Before the form appears, the frequency is set. Before the harvest, the tone of belief has already been sown in the invisible. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you vibrate. The universe does not answer your words, it answers your state, and your state is determined by what you dare to speak as truth. Say aloud, I already have it, I already am it, I already live within my answered prayer. You must vibrate before you receive, for vibration is the language of the divine law. The unseen does not move for wishers, it moves for knowers. Desire cries out in need, but faith hums in certainty. The moment you speak as one who already possesses the thing, the law rushes to make your vibration visible. You must feel the end from the beginning. You must dwell in the vibration of completion, not the shadow of longing. Speak as one who has arrived, for the universe mirrors the consciousness of fulfillment. The beggar's vibration says, "I do not have." The master's vibration declares, "It is done." The beggar's tone pushes good away. The master's tone pulls it close. Every time you affirm from lack, you multiply lack. Every time you decree from fullness, you magnetize manifestation. You are not preparing for your blessing. You are broadcasting it into being. Say aloud, "I vibrate as wealth. I speak as abundance. I think as completion. All that I desire now exists within me." The universe is a mirror of your inner rhythm. It cannot send you what you contradict with your words, your tone, your feeling. To say, "I will have," is to place your desire in tomorrow. But tomorrow is a mirage. Creation only exists in now. The present is divine territory, the eternal ground of manifestation. To speak as one who already has is to stand inside that sacred now and declare, "I am the living proof of answered prayer. My supply is here. My good is now." Everything you see began as vibration. The house you dwell in, the money you spend, the love you receive, all were once invisible frequencies drawn into form by steady faith. You are doing the same every moment, whether in abundance or in lack. Your vibration is the magnet, and your speech is the signal. The tone of your voice either opens gates or closes them. Speak not as the seeker, but as the one who has found. Say aloud, "I am already provided for. I am already favored. I am already overflowing with divine substance." The weak vibrate in waiting, but the awakened vibrate in possession. The weak hope, the awakened know. You must feel the energy of wealth in your hands before the money arrives. You must rejoice in answered prayer before the evidence appears. For the unseen always precedes the seen, and the inner always births the outer. Speak it daily, relentlessly, until your subconscious bends to the truth. I live in divine sufficiency. I move in overflowing abundance. I stand in completed manifestation. When you speak as one who already has, you break the cycle of delay. The universe hears the note of completion and rushes to harmonize with it. It must, for that is law. Creation cannot resist the tone of certainty. The divine responds to confidence as metal to magnet, as water to gravity. The moment you speak in the past tense of miracles, the unseen rearranges itself to match your word. Say this now with the voice of command, "It is finished. My wealth is established. My path is clear. My manifestation is here." Do not wait to feel worthy. Worthiness is your natural vibration. Do not wait to see results. Results are simply reflections of what you already declared. Be steadfast in your frequency, for the law cannot deny its own pattern. The one who vibrates as the fulfilled cannot remain empty. The one who speaks as the owner cannot remain without possession. So lift your voice in divine certainty and say, "I am the vibration of fulfillment. I am the frequency of abundance. I am the living manifestation of all that I desire." Speak it until heaven and earth bow to your vibration. Speak it until your body tingles with divine electricity. Speak Itin. The beginning was the word, and that word is still creating through you. Every syllable you release is a seed cast into the soil of the universe, and the soil does not question. It only brings forth according to your decree. The mouth is the scepter of creation. The tongue is the wand of power. When you speak, you shape worlds. When you decree, you move substance into form. Say aloud, "My words are not idle. My words are law. My words are divine commands that the universe must obey." You are not a creature of circumstance. You are a creator of decree. Each time you open your mouth, you write scripture upon the ethers. Your language becomes your landscape. Speak lack, and the earth yields dust. Speak abundance, and gold rises from the unseen. The universe is an obedient field. It has no will of its own. It responds to the tone of your command. The unawakened speak carelessly and wonder why their harvest is confusion. But the awakened one speaks with precision, with fire, with divine awareness, and creation bows. You have been given the same power that shaped the stars. The infinite spoke, and galaxies appeared. You speak, and your world takes shape. Yet many use this sacred instrument as a tool of destruction, cursing their days with complaint, calling their blessings impossible, and naming themselves unlucky. Every careless word is a decree that writes a shadow over your destiny. But when you rise into divine consciousness and say, "Let there be wealth, let there be order, let there be light in my affairs," the same creative law that birthed the universe moves through your vibration. Understand this truth. Your word is vibration clothed in meaning. It carries the power of command. The law of mind cannot resist a spoken decree backed by faith. Your subconscious is the obedient servant of your tongue. It does not reason, it records. Whatever you speak often enough becomes your embodied truth. Therefore, guard your speech, as a royal guard protects the king's chamber. Every declaration must serve your divine intent. Say aloud, "My words are pure power. My words carve prosperity. My words command peace. My words shape the substance of success." The one who knows the power of the word no longer speaks idly. They speak only what they wish to see. To say "I can't" is to weld chains around your own possibility. To say "I am able" is to call angels to attention. To say "I am broke" is to decree lack into being. To say "I am rich in divine supply" is to open rivers of abundance. You cannot speak defeat and walk in victory. You cannot speak fear and dwell in faith. Your mouth is the gatekeeper of destiny. Keep it sanctified. Every decree is a seed of vibration that must return multiplied. Speak it once in faith, and it begins to live. Speak it often, and it begins to move mountains. Speak it as divine law, and the universe itself rearranges to fulfill it. Say this now, with the authority of the I am within you. I decree that all channels of wealth are open. I decree that every word I speak manifests divine results. I decree that my voice is the sound of creation. Never say again, "I hope," for hope is the language of uncertainty. Say instead, "I declare," for declaration seals reality. Never say, "I am trying," for trying is the confession of doubt. Say, "It is done," for the decree finishes what faith begins. The universe has no choice but to echo your command when your words are one with divine truth. Speak with fire, not with fear. Speak from identity, not from need. Speak from the throne of the I am, not from the dust of limitation. For the mouth is not a mere instrument. It is the gateway of manifestation. Let your every word be drenched in power, shaped by vision, sealed with faith. Decla. Re with authority. I speak worlds into being. I decree wealth, favor, and divine perfection. My words go forth as living law and return as miracles. So let your tongue no longer wander in idle sound. Let it become the trumpet of divine order, for your mouth is the architect of your destiny, and your decree is the blueprint of creation. Speak now as the source itself speaks. Let there be light, and there is light. Let there be abundance, and abundance appears. Let there be victory, and it is so. Wealth is not a stagnant pond. It is a living river flowing endlessly through channels of divine exchange. The one who clutches it in fear dams the current and dries the stream. The one who releases it in faith becomes the vessel through which the infinite pours increase. Say aloud, "I am not a container of wealth. I am its channel. I give and I receive. I circulate and I expand." The law of circulation is the rhythm of divine prosperity. What flows out in trust must return multiplied. All hoarding is fear, and all fear is separation. But giving is faith, and faith is unity with the source that never empties. The universe knows no stagnation. Every atom spins, every current moves, every heartbeat echoes the same eternal truth. Circulation sustains life. When you withhold, you step out of the rhythm of God's abundance. When you give freely, you declare, I trust the law to replenish me. And the law, being divine and exact, rushes to fulfill your declaration. The one who hoards clings to dust. The one who circulates commands gold. Say aloud, I release freely, therefore I receive abundantly. I am the open door through which divine riches flow in endless motion. You cannot receive what you are not willing to release. The hands that grasp cannot gather. The heart that fears cannot overflow. The universe responds to movement. When you move wealth through love, it expands. When you freeze it with fear, it contracts. Every coin given in joy multiplies in unseen realms before returning to your hand. Every act of generosity is a decree to the universe. I am in rhythm with abundance. Speak this truth with power. I give from the infinite, therefore I can never lack. I sow from the eternal, therefore I reap without end. The miser prays for wealth yet builds walls against it. The giver commands wealth because he lives as its passageway. To circulate is to trust divine timing, to know that the substance you release will return as increase. The law of circulation does not fail. It is as sure as gravity and as swift as light. The moment you give in alignment with love, the current begins to move. Money, favor, ideas, and opportunities are all caught in that same eternal rhythm, flowing where they are invited, multiplying where they are honored. Say aloud, money is my servant, not my master. I command it to move freely through me, blessing all it touches, and returning multiplied to its source, me. You must not fear the outflow, for the outflow is the promise of inflow. The tide cannot return unless it first recedes. The breath cannot fill unless it first releases. So it is with wealth. Giving is the exhale that makes room for the divine inhale of abundance. To cling is to choke the flow. To circulate is to breathe with the universe. Let no act of giving be done in anxiety, for fear poisons the current. Give with joy, speak with trust, act with certainty. Every offering you make with divine confidence becomes a magnet of multiplied return. Every circulation blesses both giver and receiver, for both are one in the same flow of spirit. The law of circulation is the law of faith in action. It proves that supply is infinite, not finite. Say aloud, I am one with the current of increase. I live in the rhythm of divine supply. I release wealth, and wealth returns to me multiplied beyond measure. Do not confuse circulation with loss. What leaves your hands never leaves your life. It travels through divine channels and returns wit. Increase. The fearful say, I cannot give, I might lose. The awakened say, I cannot keep, I must flow. And because they flow, they prosper without end. Every time you give with joy, you carve a larger channel for the infinite to fill. Every act of generosity is an act of dominion, proof that you trust your divine source more than your limited storehouse. Say it now with boldness. I am the river of divine circulation. I give with faith. I receive with grace. I multiply with power. I am the vessel through which God's abundance flows endlessly. Let this decree govern your every transaction, your every thought about money, your every act of giving. For wealth does not belong to the stagnant. It belongs to the moving, the trusting, the obedient to divine law. You were not born to clutch, you were born to conduct. You were not meant to store, you were meant to flow. The universe gives to those who give, multiplies through those who move, and blesses those who circulate. Be the open river, and not the sealed jar. For the law is unbreakable and eternal. What you release in faith returns to you in power. Say it once more. I live in divine circulation. I release, I receive, I rise. I am the endless flow of abundance in motion. You were not born to bow before circumstances, you were born to govern them. You were not sent to plead with life, you were sent to command it. Dominion is your birthright, authority is your inheritance, and divine power is the breath that animates your being. The universe recognizes you not as a beggar of blessings, but as a co-creator with the infinite. Say aloud, I am not a servant of lack, I am the ruler of form. I am divine authority clothed in human expression. The soul that knows its dominion does not tremble before appearances. It does not ask permission to prosper, to heal, to rise. It declares its decree, and the universe obeys. For the law does not bow to fear, it bends to certainty. You were never meant to chase power, you were meant to embody it. Heaven itself moves through your consciousness when you stand in divine awareness and speak as one who governs by right of inheritance. The child of God is not subject to conditions, he creates them. Poverty, delay, confusion. These are but shadows cast by forgotten authority. When you remember who you are, the shadows flee. Dominion begins not with struggle, but with knowing. You must know that the same mind that framed the stars lives in you. The same voice that said, "Let there be light," speaks through you now. You are not a fragment of the divine. You are its focused expression. Say aloud, I rule my world by divine decree. I am the authority of my atmosphere. I am the law in motion. Begging weakens the current of your spirit. Every plea says I am separate. Every decree says I am one. To beg is to deny your lineage. To command is to affirm it. Heaven does not respond to weeping, it responds to word. The infinite waits for your recognition, not your desperation. You are not waiting for God's approval, God is waiting for your awakening. Rise now from the dust of smallness. And remember, you are not a pawn in the game of life. You are the player who moves the board. Say it with fire. I am not beneath circumstances, I am above them. I do not follow the law. I command it through faith. I do not beg for miracles, I manifest them by decree. This is not pride, this is divine remembrance. Pride says, I am separate and superior. Dominion says, I am one with the source, and I move as it moves. There is no arrogance in knowing your origin. The lion does not apologize for his roar, the sun does not apologize for its light. Why then should you apologize for your power? Every challenge that appears before you is waiting for your authority. The storm does not still itself, it listens for your voice. The mountain does not move by hope, it moves by command. Speak to the walls that surround you and say, by divine law you must fall, by divine decree, my way is clear. Life will echo back your tone. It cannot resist the vibration of dominion, for that vibration is the very sound of creation. The universe is structured to obey its own kings, and you are one of them. Dominion is not domination over others, it is mastery over self, mastery over thought, mastery over vibration. When you rule your inner world, the outer must follow. No door can remain closed to one who knows his power. No delay can stand before one who walks in divine command. Speak it now. I am the master of my reality. I am the commander of substance. I reign by right of divine origin. You were born to govern, not to grovel. You were born to speak law, not lament fate. Every time you rise in remembrance, heaven rises with you. The angels of circumstance bow to the one who knows. You are not asking life to change. You are decreeing it into new order. You are not wishing for power. You are reclaiming it from eternity. So let your voice thunder through the invisible. Let your word shake the dust from your destiny. Let the universe hear and obey. I stand in my divine dominion. I command wealth, health, peace, and victory to appear now. I reign with wisdom, love, and power. I am not a beggar in the kingdom. I am the king of my creation.